Here we are, right, Guy?
Welcome everybody to this week's episode.
Another podcast journey with Michael and Ryan. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, it's good to have you guys here.
Yeah, today we're talking about magic.
The magic that is manifestation.
Yeah.
The curation, the creation, and the manifestation of our lives, right?
And just magic in general. I think because we live such magical lives.
There's a lot of magic happening at the moment. It's happening real quick as well.
The word that springs to mind is quantum.
Quantum. Living in the quantum field, as Dr. Joe would say.
Oh, yeah. There's so many different... people have so many different definitions or understandings of manifestation. So I think what we'd like to dive into is just our own personal understanding of it, what it is, how we curate our lives, the magic that happens, how we do it, what our take is on it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and just going into some of the practices that we use to just create it, because it's like, for me, manifestation, because of who I am and me being like a manifesting generator. And so for me, manifestation is about the ideas, the thoughts, the feelings that come up that create the vision or the feeling of what we want in life. And then it's about like the aligned action that we take to get there.
Oh, yeah, that's very true. It's the actions that you take whilst you're curating the vision of where you want your life to be, who you want to become. What I'm starting to really get a grasp on now is the future is not actually real, because the future's now. So let me dive into that a little bit more. So the future's now. It's about shifting yourself, doing the changes now so you can become the vibration or the level of the energy that the reality around you moves around you to become. Sure. So when you are curating your vision, you're taking the action steps, the universe is then starting to go, this action step is happening here, more things pop up, you start seeing more synchronicities, you start seeing more magic happen in front of you, more things are actually turning into things.
Sure.
That's kind of where I'm at with the future present kind of process of manifestation now, I think.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And it's like, I know, for me personally, I always found manifestation something that I found really hard. Like, I never felt like I had an ability to manifest my dreams. And I always thought that to get what you want, it just had to, you just kept moving and it would just happen. But just in the last few months, it's like, well, probably in the last year, building the life that we're building now, building Beta, building a beautiful connection of friendships. It really is like you have to be able to see it and feel it before it can actually happen. And because if it's not alive within you already, then there is no ability to actually create it. Because you can't just create. For me personally, I feel like you can't just create something out of nothing. Like your future has to come from an idea or something that you're creating in the present moment. So your future is, as you say, your future is created now. It's not something that happens in the future. It's like if you're aligning yourself with the energy of what you want, or even speaking as if things already are, then there really is no choice but for them to happen.
It's like, what sacrifices are you making and paying off now to have what you want? And everything's a sacrifice. Even like money's a sacrifice. Money is like the new age offering, because you've had to sacrifice your time. You've had to sacrifice something in order to get this thing that will be able to obviously purchase things that are, that you're wanting. It's an old archetype, isn't it? The sacrifice. It's in the Bible. It's in every first indigenous culture. They've always got a sacrificial process that they've got going on. So I feel like manifesting is, what are you sacrificing here now? And we can move into people who sacrifice their health in order to get somewhere in life, or so it's about playing that game of where you can cultivate and curate and have it all in equilibrium, understanding Henslo's hierarchical level of order, and that's constantly evolving as well. Going, okay, cool, health is always going to be a major part of my life, but is it going to be number one for a while whilst you're building something else? Yeah. And so this is where the discipline and the habit creation in your life can have those pillars where it may not be your full all-in focus, but there's still a part of it that's still allowing part of your being to constantly still stay in what you're wanting to have.
Yeah, for sure. So essentially what you're saying is like you have to deal with your survival needs first before you can actually move into that place of manifestation. Because I suppose if you don't have a roof over your head, if you don't have an ability to pay bills, if you don't have food, if you don't have connections and relationships, then it's always going to be hard for you to manifest the life that you want, because you're always going to be coming from that place of lack or struggle. Your body's going to be in that place of survival. So how is it actually going to create what we want in the future if right now all we're focusing on are the struggles, are the stresses? If our nervous system doesn't have that opportunity to really relax in and trust this moment and that we're safe in this moment, why is it, or how is it they're actually going to create the life of your dreams, right?
That's very true. I've got a massive affirmation that it's something I really truly live by, and it's trust in the divine. Trust in the creation that is being created for you. Trust that you will be caught. Trust that everything has been ultimately curated and you've already chosen. We've been going into human design and all of the wondrous self-knowledge of that. And it's so interesting when you dive in deeper that the place where you were born, the time, how that has such a divinity alignment in who you are. And when you can actually start playing in the fields of who you are and understanding that, then the manifestation becomes a lot more simple and with ease. It's like we spoke about on other podcasts, pulling that thread of pleasure.
For sure.
Because we've been taught pleasure's bad. It's been repressed.
For sure.
Because if it's easy, then who are you to have it?
For sure.
And since we've really started to have this magic open up in our lives, the ease is there.
Yeah.
But yet the opportunities are becoming more and more abundant.
And I think that's because we're allowing ourselves to be more and more abundant in many aspects of our life. And like, even when you look at like what you were talking about, like you look at tantric practices, and a lot of that is around manifestation, and that's like through the cultivation of your own sexual energy and prana, right? Because if you're liberated and free sexually, then you just have an energy of cultivation. Like things in life will just start to come to you a lot more freely, because you're actually just allowing yourself to play in pleasure. You're allowing yourself to experience what it feels like to be truly in a moment and to just have a fucking bliss orgasm. And when you allow yourself to do that, why would the universe not give you more?
I agree.
Because you're so grateful for these little moments that it just makes sense that the universe is just going to keep popping them off to you.
And then it's having the courage to be able to receive it, and then and really understanding what receiving means.
For sure.
Feeling the receiving. Oof. Because I had a huge, and I still do to this point, it's something I'm constantly working on. I had a huge receiving block. And it's something I really noticed. It was actually the first weekend of our rebirthing certification, because I'd done rebirthing stuff with Sandro and things before, so I had quite a good handle on it. And I remember we did our first rebirth, and I can't remember who my partner was, but at the end of it, Pauline and Dave were like, "Oh, well done," like really give me a heads up in front of everyone. And I retreated into myself, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to be good. Sure. I don't want to receive this, because who am I to receive this in front of everyone else?" And then Pauline pointed it out. She's like, "Why can't you receive that?" And it was the first time that it slapped me. And I was like, wow, yeah, why can't I receive that? Why can't I receive the compliment of something I did well and something I'm really aligning with? And then I started reflecting and doing, you know, a lot more work on it. And what I found that I did was I was always offering because it could keep people at arm's length, because then I wouldn't have to allow it in.
Sure.
Yeah. And I talk to people about, if you gave someone a Christmas gift, how do you feel when they open it and receive it? And they go, oh, I feel pretty amazing. Well, there's no difference in people offering you love or compliment or give you the kudos, something that you've done well. And so if you gave someone a gift and they said, oh, no thanks, and didn't open it, you'd feel pretty gutted.
For sure.
As the person who's giving. So I think that's something I've really had to work on and curate as well. And when you can receive, then your abundant flow is flowing. So you can receive the good things because you're in your power. You're like, yeah, I deserve this.
For sure.
You know, it's understanding selfish, breaking that word down into self-ish. Let's be more selfish, because we want to be more of the self. It's putting your own oxygen mask on first as the plane's going down so you can help others. But you've got to be able to understand that putting your own oxygen mask on isn't to the detriment of others. It's feeling the ability to put the mask on so you can receive, so then you can give. And that's a big part of the abundance flow when it comes to manifestation.
Definitely. Because it's that's it. If it's like very, very similarly, if you gave a gift to someone and they didn't fully receive it and they weren't in awe of it, you would be disappointed, right? And the universe is going to be disappointed too. It's not going to keep giving to you if you're not willing to receive. And that really goes into understanding that you are deserving of it as well. You know, and I think the reason that for me personally, why life is just moving so quickly and everything's just falling into place so easily, even though it comes with its struggles and challenges, and patience is something that we're really, really having to learn here. If you don't follow us on social media, you'll probably know why with everything that we're building with Beta. It's just like things just come up and they happen. But when you can just trust the divine and trust that it's happening for you, not to you, then you actually start to see the magic in it. And manifestation isn't about these huge grandiose things happening. It's just about trusting that everything is aligned and trusting that you are deserving of the gifts and offerings that the universe is giving you.
There's no recourse into wanting a Ferrari in your driveway.
No way.
But the intention behind it, you know, is it your deity? Is it something that you feel like you need to try and impress others? And so that's that constant inquiry.
For sure.
Because if the intention is malaligned, and then that's what you're going to create, and then there'll be more struggle. It's like pulling a rock with a chain up a hill without wheels. Well, I like pulling a rock with wheels on it now because it makes it so much easier.
For sure. Definitely. Well, I mean, you are a manifestor when we have a look at your human design. So intrinsically for you, manifestation comes a lot more naturally.
Yeah. So I've been diving deep into this for the last kind of couple of months. And so we're called manifestors for a reason. But that comes with its struggles as well. I need a lot of rest. I need to, disconnect and all of that. But what I'm really harnessing right now is when I get the urge to initiate in a creative endeavor, it's doing it without permission. It's just going ahead and doing it, knowing that I don't get given the guide of what's going to happen next. I just have to trust that whatever this creative initiation is, I've just got to go and create it, and the playbook will come as it goes, and then just know that thing will happen, and then pull the other people in who can help continue that process, who, like yourselves, like the manifestor generators, or we have the projectors who push us, who go, oh, I see it this way, and can communicate things better. It's such a deep dive into the self, and
Sure.
It excites the hell out of me.
And something that I always find quite interesting, because as a manifestor and in knowing you, it's like you have such big dreams.
Yeah.
and you always speak them into existence, with whether it's just with yourself or with other people. It's like your ability to see the grander opportunity, or the grandest opportunity that's in front of yourself or others, is something that you just have an innate ability to tap into. The question and the reason I'm going into this is, for you as a manifester, when you speak those big dreams, what does it feel like when people can't grasp it or don't understand it?
I see it in people.
Oh, for sure. I see it in myself personally. When you dream big, I'm like, yeah, righto. But then my mind goes into like, okay, cool. Is this possible? Is this possible? What's the action that we need to take to get there? Where you're just like, fuck it, let's just dream big.
Yeah. And let's just start taking the direction, and just speaking it out into the universe means it's already started. It's pushed out from my blocked aura.
Yeah.
And so I'm initiating it to the people around me, and I'm initiating it to the universe for it to start happening. But when I see people, like, we have amazing humans in our life, and you and I are on the same path of just how big can we expand everyone, because we all know that everyone's got the divine spark in them. It's can we get that? And so when I'm sitting here, I go into a drop-in, and you just see them. They can't grasp it. They can't grasp it, but that's okay. I love them more for that, because it's okay, because I'm expanding them. I'm initiating an idea. It might not exactly be what I'm speaking about, but what it is, it's opening up a portal in that person or in the universe for it to become a possibility.
For sure.
And when something's a possibility, then it can be done. I mean, you look at someone like Elon Musk. You know, I mean, the mofo owns a company that's going to Mars. He just bought a social media company. That's one person. And if one person can do something, then we all can do it. It just is. You just need to know your unique self to be able to implement it in certain ways and have the right people around you. So to answer your question, when people don't grasp it, I just smile. All I do is smile. Yeah. You know?
What was it like before you started to do work, though, and like understand it? Because I'm sure you've been a big dreamer most of your life, right?
So a lot of my life, and this is a big program I still carry, is and for us manifestors, it's always the same as well. Lots of other manifestors I talk to, you get told to be more vanilla. You get told to be more like everyone else.
For sure.
And my whole life, I've looked back. It's like, you know, be a little smaller, be a little bit more like everyone else. And we're not put on this world to be like everyone else is. And it's the uniqueness of it. I mean, there's only 9% of the population are the human design of the manifestor.
Yeah.
And then there's conditioning that goes with that when it's with core group. I mean, 70% of the world are a generator energy in the human design, whether it's a manifested generator or generator. And so the conditioning, you need to decondition yourself from that go as well. You know, so that's the push and pull. But how was I when I was a kid? Yeah, I got told a lot to be quiet and settle down, and you know, and because it scares people. It scares people when you're such a big thinker, dreamer, and it's inconceivable for people. So they have to go, no, put you back into my own box, because you can't do that. And that's okay. It's just their own perceptions of reality. That's fine, and I'm really understanding it now. But yeah, growing up, reflecting on it, it was tough, and that's something that still carries me, being in different situations where I'm, you know, start going into my creative flow, and even when I used to jobs, you know, 9-to-5 jobs. I mean, they're so
tedious.
Yeah. And so I always have to find things that I can create myself, you know, within concepts. And vanilla. Always got told to be vanilla. Yeah, Vanilla Mike. I had a nickname when I first got into real estate, actually.
No fucking way. Yeah. Really?
Yeah,
Vanilla Mike.
I worked in this real estate company, and I just was, you know, because I mean, you're not working for anyone, but you're under certain guises.
For sure.
And I would, you know, go and do things my way, and I remember the owner of the company, he would just be like, mate, you just need to be more vanilla. Everyone likes vanilla. And then the name Vanilla Mike started coming around because I actually made, quite fun of it.
I heard that story.
Yeah.
But it fucking sucks though.
Yeah, it does suck.
Because and I think that's the thing as well. It's like when you can. I know we're moving more into human design than we are talking about manifestation, but it's all applies because if you can start to understand your human design, you can start to understand your own unique way of manifesting.
Yeah.
And it sucks because if instead of people telling you to be vanilla and allowed you to be you, and actually utilized your innate knowing abilities, your innate intelligence in the way in which you are able to just dream big, then they would have been able to utilize it more.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to do things in a way that haven't been done before.
For sure.
And so when things haven't been done before, and you don't have a playbook on it, you just have to initiate it.
For sure.
And when things are being done that haven't been done before, it scares people.
Definitely.
Because it's not the usual. So it's a fun game. Let's just put it that way. And I'm really enjoying it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love it as well because I get to utilize it.
Totally. Absolutely. But this is why in our business partnership and our brotherhood and it works so well because we both are really so endeavored into seeking and understanding ourselves. Because your manifesting prowess is absolutely like I just sit there and I'm in awe of the way that you can curate and your art and the way that you can sit there and you have the energy just to sit there and work things out and to create the art of content and spreadsheets and different things like that. In a way that I could never do.
No.
And could never do it because with my design, and I think this is a little bit me personally as well, but I think it's more understanding my design. If I'm not interested in something, then it doesn't get any of my energy. But the things I'm interested in will blow up really quick.
For sure.
And so it's just constantly in that flow of, okay, this is where I'm seeking my energy, and then the things that will come from it, make sure I get my rest to be able to charge up for the bigger things. But this is where you and I have teamed up, and it just works so well. And so you were talking in the beginning, the actionable steps that create more. So it's like my initiation into doing something that's never been done before with no playbook, speak that out, initiate it, get that flow going. I mean, if you actually think about how beta got incepted originally, it was actually during lockdown. So I had a deep rest at that point, so I could actually allow it to come. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Oh yeah, that's got to do. I got to ring Ryan, and it just started that flow, right? And so the initiation got started, and then you and I just keep working, and then as your genius is growing and more, it's just we're understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses in it, and that's what's absolutely just blowing things up. And so we want to move it back to manifestation now. The actionable steps off the vision are there because they are being taken, and then that flows.
100%. And it's understanding whether or not the action needs to come through you or through others. And yes. I think that's one of the big things that people struggle with as well, right? Like if you're just trying to create a life on your own, it's always like you might get there fast, but it's not going to last long because you're always going to run out of energy. Especially if you are purely a manifester, or even if you're a pure generator, you might even not even have the ability to like land on where the future's going to be. You're just going to keep continually taking action on whatever's in front of you instead of thinking about that bigger goal. But when you can come back and understand both aspects of it and who you are and how you best work, I love that it always comes back to who you are. No matter what we talk about,
always
understand yourself. That's what it's all about. Don't be something you're not. As you start to understand who you are more, then for you, that aspect of manifestation is like initiation and allow other people to follow through.
Yep.
Because you don't have the energy to constantly be taking action. Yep. So it's like curate and initiate for others, and for me it's like, man, I love being initiated into things because I'm like, once the seed has been planted, it's like for me the manifestation or the journey is about, okay, cool, what's best, what's the next step we need to take to make this happen?
Yeah.
Like, how can we actually make this dream,
Yeah.
this grand design that's been created in front of us, actually a reality?
Yeah.
And how can we make it happen fucking fast?
Oh yeah, and this is where leadership roles at certain times come in.
For sure.
Right? It's like, cool, I understand when you need to lead, and I will just be like, cool, man, what do we do? And then it goes vice versa. And this is why our flow, we talk a lot about our non-verbal communication is so on point, because the amount of, group wellness, breath work, workshops we've done, even when we were just out in the world, just doing things. It's just the flow is there because there's deep trust, like the deepest trust. And so with deep trust, you just ultimately just go, whatever's curating on through Ryan, I trust that it will be absolutely needed to be. There's no question in the sanctity of what you'd be doing.
Yeah.
And it would go vice versa.
Definitely.
And so the manifestation from that is a powerful energy, and there's conviction in that. I think even just through our podcast, even just the way that we speak when we are there, we're talking about magic here, aren't we? We're talking about manifestation. We're talking about, our rebirth experiences. We're in front of corporates. I mean, we did a podcast on the Ryan's podcast a few weeks ago, and we're talking about concepts. Obviously, you still got to understand and regulate your language so it can land for people, but that's okay. That just takes us to some thinking on our part. But when you speak with such conviction, the energy is felt.
For sure.
And even if somebody's mind, who's never heard of anything like that before, even if their mind wants to tell them, don't believe this person, they have to feel the belief because it is said with such conviction. There's no nuance in there to be trying to manipulate anyone in any way. We're not even trying to get people to think what we think. We are just sharing from our hearts, from our souls, from our experiences for the greater good, because our desire is to help as many people as possible.
Definitely. Yeah.
In everything that we do.
In all aspects. From friendships to business to clients. It's like that's the overarching energy of everything that we're creating at the moment, and it's beautiful because it gives us an opportunity to expand, and it gives other people an opportunity to expand as well. And it's beautiful because the more we're giving other people an opportunity to initiate, and you're even challenging with them with the way in which they think about what they want to do and things like that, and dropping little initiatory dreams into their reality, into their perception, which whether or not they take them or not, like that's totally up to their choice. Or maybe it's something that just sits in the back of their mind for a really, really long time, but the seed's still there, right? It's just waiting to be germinated. So the more we can allow ourselves to do that, and the more we allow other people to do that, it's like the quicker things are going, the faster things are moving, and the more manifestation that's actually happening. It's beautiful. It's beautiful when you see it happen in front of you, and when you ask for something and within a few hours it happens.
We're putting stopwatches at the moment on things that we're putting it out there, and that's a fun game.
It's a fun game.
That's a real fun game, and it's really interesting, and I'm always curious when things show up, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I literally asked for that 2 weeks ago.
For sure.
Or I'm just going, okay, cool. Like it's such a gratitude. But then it's just such a, oh yeah, like I knew that was going to be happening anyways.
Expected.
Yeah, it's an expectation without expectation.
Yeah,
it's kind
sure.
of
it's like an expectation with non-attachment.
Yeah,
you're just like, okay, cool, that was going to happen. Let's go next.
Yeah. And every now and then you stop and go, oh, beautiful, and reflect on where you were. Sure. And it's a really interesting concept with time. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, time's moving so fast right now, but yet so slow at the same time.
For sure.
Because I think about what we've done just in the last 3 months. What are we now? We're recording this at the start of April. Is it April yet? No, it's end of March. It's 27th of March today. So we're recording this at the 27th of March. Now, it was the 6th of January that we go, okay, let's pull the trigger on a few things. And so it's only been 3 months. It's only been 3 months, yet it feels it's gone so fast, but yet there's been so much that's happened. So the time concept is slowing down, because some things are really, really slowing down.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I see it as a little joke from the universe. It's got that carrot, and we're the bunny, and it's just dangling in the front. It's like, how badly do you want this? How badly do you want this? What else do you have to keep creating? So when it actually does bang, you're at such a higher level than what you were going to if it just happened 2 months ago, or a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to watch.
It is. And it's understanding. Yeah, understanding and I suppose even just giving yourself the opportunity to play with it, right, and have fun with it, and like giving yourself that opportunity to feel into the energy of it, and feel into the energy of abundance. Because for me, when it comes to manifestation, I don't see things. It's like I don't even really dream that much. It's not like visually I see things in front of my mind. But whenever I'm doing meditations that like are about manifestation, for me it's all just about energy. It's like allowing an energy to guide me, because if I can feel into the energy of what the life is that I want to create, then that's the thing that guides me. It's not like a specific thing. It's like an energy. If I feel into the energy, then I'll just let that thread pull me to wherever it needs to go. Like, yes, there's things that need to be done, and there's action that need to be taken that are going to lead towards like the energy and the life that I want to have. But for me, it's more about like specifics, but it's like sitting with an energy and knowing, and then just trusting that.
So trust. If you got to curate the trust in yourself, because you trust yourself, then you're trusting the universe, you're trusting source, because we are just the manifestation of it in consciousness, right?
Energy, frequency, and vibration.
We are. I mean, Nikola Tesla was talking about this 100 years ago, and they
he was a kook.
He was. he died a poor man, lonely, but yet look at what his teachings all so true.
And then you got to look into it as well. Like, if you can start understand that idea that all we are is energy, frequency, and vibration, you've got to look into it like, okay, what energy am I actually emitting every single day?
Yes.
Because energy is just going to meet other energy. It's like a polar. It's like what positive and negative on a magnet, right? Like if you're looking for a visual explanation of it, it's like that. It's like they're either going to detract and push things away, or they're going to pull things in. So if energetically you're living in a place of lack, if you're living in a place of frustration, if you're just being a victim to what's happened to you and what's happening to you and what you think might happen to you in the future, then you're going to manifest those things into your life. You're going to have a hard life. It's going to be a struggle. But if you just sat every single day, and this is something that Dr. Joe always talks about, it's like not getting up from meditation until you allow yourself to energetically feel the shift, energetically feel how you want to be, who you want to show up as in the world. And it's like we get caught in a loop of our lives and reality and the energy that we play into, right? Like we get up at the same time, we brush our teeth the same way, we dry ourselves in the shower the same way, we put the lotion on our skin exactly the same way every single day. We have the same coffee at the same time, we get up, we sit in the same traffic, we probably listen to the same radio stations, we have the same exact conversation as we walk past the exact same person as we're moving into work every single day. You check your emails, you reply, all of that, and you just get trapped into this just mundane, repetitive energy. And if you're not using tools to disrupt that, then you're going to get stuck in it. You're going to get trapped in it. You're just going to be a hamster on a wheel. And that's where a lot of people do get trapped, right? They get trapped in it because they don't understand energetically about what's going on for them and how to actually shift away from it, And if you're waking up every single day and you're reminding yourself of who you are, before you actually give yourself an opportunity to curate who you want to be, then you're constantly going to be getting stuck. You're not going to be able to step outside of yourself and check in with what's actually going on, what energy you're putting out. You just get stuck in the mundane, you just move through the day, you just move on to the next task, and nothing ever really happens for you.
And it's a slow burn.
Oh, yeah.
It's a slow burn when you start wanting to come out of that. And again, this is one of the main points of this podcast, is if someone can listen to some of the concepts that we're speaking about and it plants a seed for them to just potentially even just get a reaction and scoff at us, they've still felt something or heard something that's out of their norm, that's out of their hamster wheel reality. And that might just be a spark that someone needs. And I'm wanting to have the conversation with the whole entire world and see how many people can be sparked.
Definitely, because at least it's erupting something within them.
I agree,
for sure, and we all need to feel a little more.
Oh, I know. Yes, we do.
We don't want to be Vanilla Mike.
No Vanilla Mike.
Fuck off, Vanilla Mike.
I know. Yeah, it's so funny. I haven't thought about that since just now.
First time I heard that story, actually.
Yeah, it is.
It was a funny one.
Yeah, there we go. Podcast first. Well, running through, but it's the manifestation that I feel most people think of is kind of like, they might have heard of The Secret or something along those lines. I mean, there's concepts in that are prevalent and relevant, but it all does come down to your own action and clearing out all of the shit that's holding you back within yourself and in your subconscious. And I guess it's really funny, or it's really interesting that pretty much everything we speak about, it's all the same thing and coming back to the same way. Sure. Because it's the equation. Because once you scoop out that
shit.
Core level shit. Yeah. Once you've seen and shone your torch into your shadow, like we've spoken about, then you have the higher ability to understand what's within you, within your own world. And talking about Dr. Joe again, I mean, he goes, sit your body down, and don't let it move, don't let it frisk around. Go into your own self and move into the quantum, and really have a feeling of what it is that you want. And it's the feeling in the body, and then that will vibrate the things around you, and it will literally shift your reality around you. And it's like the Matrix, when he goes, that little kid before they go see the Oracle, and he goes, don't think of the spoon as bending, it's the reality bending around the spoon. I never really got that, because it's such. I watched that in movies when I was probably about 10, I'd say, but that's totally right. We bend our realities around us. It's happening for us. We're in charge. We're in charge of our life,
for sure.
We're in charge of what happens, and we are such powerful beings that if you want to manifest a shit life, well, then you will. If you want to manifest an amazing life, well, it's going to be difficult because you've just been in the programs of manifesting a shit life, that's what your nervous system's comfortable at.
100%. It's uncomfortable to do things different. It's uncomfortable to accept that you're worthy of the life that you deserve and that you want, and for bigger things to happen and for things to come easy, or sorry, not easy, but with ease.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that's actually the power of, as you say, like looking through your shit, ripping out all the gunk, doing the shadow work, allowing yourself to go deeper into yourself, using things like plant medicine, breath work, like deeper forms of meditation to really elevate and speed up the process. Because what that process is doing, it's not so much creating it easier for you to manifest. What it's doing is to rip out all the shit that's actually getting in the way of you allowing yourself to have the life that you want.
Yeah, stop pulling meta through meta.
Fucking no.
Pull in the rock. Put some wheels on that motherfucker.
Fucking no.
But you can put the wheels on by removing the junk.
100%.
Once you remove the junk, you got the room for the wheels.
Well, just take the fucking rock off, Mike. Why are you pulling up the hill in the first place?
Well, there you go. Yeah. Push it downhill.
Yeah,
manifest
maybe what's at the top of the hill isn't what you want.
Yeah, well, and I think most people don't know what they want, or they're afraid to actually feel what they want. It's a scary concept because that's your own power. A lot of people are afraid of their own power.
For sure.
And when they start to feel it a little bit, they're like, oh, no. And it goes back to the unworthiness or those past programs of, be vanilla, be like everyone else, be part of the norm. I guess.
That's it. Yeah.
But it's not about being normal. It's being abnormal. Everyone's abnormal. We're just all trying to fit in with each other.
For sure.
Just be you. And dream big. I used to do when I was before I was in real estate many years ago. I was in the fitness industry. I was a personal trainer, and I had a company with who's my now brother-in-law, And so we used to business coach and mentor personal trainers to help build their personal training business, and then we moved into a kind of curating more education systems and models and things like that. And one of the tasks I got to do in one of the coaching programs that we did, it was kind of one of the first ones, and it was called Dream Big. And so what I would do is I'd have all the students in the class, and they had no idea what I was doing. I'd said, okay, cool, everyone's got an A3 piece of paper. What I want you all to do is I want you to write down any dream that you want. Like, think of anything that you want. There's no, like, remove the judgment, anything. You know, if you want a private plane, have a private plane. You want an island, have an island. You know, like, write it down. And I'd give them probably about 10 minutes or 15 minutes to do that. And I'd let everyone walk down. You could see them writing down. Like, they'd have like 3. You know, everyone would write down, I got 3. Or they'd have 4. And then they would be like, okay, what else? You know, and then I would write this. So after about 10 minutes, I'd say, all right, pens down. All right, who wants to stand up and read some of theirs? So I'd pick a few of the students. I'd get up and read some of their, you know, things, and I go, well, I'd love to fly, you know, first class around the world and travel, and, you know, I'd love to have a house. I'd love to have, you know, some people have a car. I'd love to have a Maserati or whatever it was, and you know, I want to be married or I want to have a baby, and, you know, some of the nicer things. And I'd say, great. And next person, yes, same thing. And then what I would do is I would then go, okay, great. You know, I just asked you to dream, right? I literally ask you to dream. Dreams are as expansive as you can create them. They're as expansive as your imagination will allow you. And so then what I would do is I'd go, okay, cool. Let's put a rough price tag on your dreams right now. So I'd get them to put rough price tags down, you know, and it would probably end up being about $20 million, $30 million around there. I said, okay, well, do you think that's achievable? I said, oh, I never looked at it that way. I said, great, okay, cool. Flip the piece of paper over. Now what I want you to do is I want you to really dream. I want you to really push yourself. I want you to really write down anything and everything that your heart could be absolutely desired. Give them another 10, 15 minutes. Now pick a few people. And do you know what was really interesting? Every single time they would have bigger dreams. They would have bigger things that they want. They would upgrade every one of their dreams to something huge and bigger and more grandiose. And so I guess, you know, this is a long-winded form in the lesson of, even when you have given yourself the permission to dream, you still hold yourself back from even dreaming something because of you don't want to be, you know, there's a lack there, or there's an unworthiness there, or, you know, I literally just told you to write down anything you absolutely want in your whole entire life.
Sure, but there's still a resistance.
There's
right?
a resistance.
Well, there's like there can still be like a perceived. What's the word I'm looking for? People may still perceive what other people may think about what they want to dream about.
Yeah, I'll be judged if I say I want a plane, so I'll just write down first class. So I guess that's ultimate. And there wasn't one person that never had bigger dreams on the second time round.
Sure.
And it was always like a nice like aha moment, like, oh yeah. You know, like there's you're still limiting yourself, even the ability to you just to dream.
For sure.
And so dreams, you know, the old cliche, dreams are free. Of course they are. You know, and then just work backwards. Go, well, there's my dream, there's my vision, and work backwards from there. Okay, we've got that huge thing that I want to work towards, but I'm not outcome orientated, so let's just bring that back. And then, as you say, it's an energy flow. So if you kind of have the direction you're sailing to, then you know where, you know, actions to take. And I always thought that was really interesting, and that was far before I even got into kind of more deeper esoteric work, as kind of more NLP stuff, you know. But it always blew my mind, and it was my first kind of like eye opening to like, yeah, like just people hold themselves back even on dreaming because they don't want to feel that they are, you know, wanting huge things.
Well, they don't want to feel like they're getting a few bits of hokey pokey in the vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
They don't want to disrupt the system, you know.
No,
100%, and it's very, very true. And like I've been in that place many times for many years.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been till I started to move through rebirthing, and then even just building my own business, where I've actually started to allow myself to dream bigger, with your fucking guidance, I must add, to allow myself to dream bigger and like just trust and accept that it can be whatever you want it to be. And that like no one's actually going to stop you except for yourself. And when it comes to you stopping yourself, it's only limiting what other people may think and letting that stuff affect you instead of just dreaming fucking massive and just trusting that you're going to get there.
Yep. And I think there's a big part that failure is part of the process.
Oh, for sure.
I was very afraid of failure. I have a big perfection model within me, and I know that if I really strive for something and I don't quite hit the mark, then I'm like, I'll like pull away from it or wince. So I'm working on getting, just owning that and getting better, and I am getting better at it. But it's that seek for failure, really. Seek for failure, because that's
Fail
part of the
fast,
process.
fail hard.
Yeah, seek for failure,
fail hard.
because the faster you fail, the lessons you're going to learn, the faster you're manifesting what you've done, and that was part of the process for you to get what you want. It seems so simple and clear in my mind now, but reflecting on my life, it was such a hard concept to get.
Yeah, because you hadn't yet moved through all the shit that made it difficult to comprehend.
Yeah,
it's easy to comprehend now that you're on the other side of it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're stuck in the shit, it's fucking hard to understand because you're stuck in the shit. You're worried about sinking instead of worrying about what's next, right? And so that's why it's so important to be doing the work, to allowing yourself to go into the shit. Yep. Allow yourself to dig yourself out of it, because then there's nothing in your way anymore. And that's the thing that I find within myself. There's literally nothing in my way that's going to stop me from getting what I fucking want in my life, because I'm not going to let anything stop me. And I realize that I'm worthy of it.
Yes, you are, brother. Yes, you are.
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, yeah. And for a lot of people, that can be really confronting.
Because even listening to it, they might think it sounds like arrogance.
Yeah.
For sure. But it ain't.
Yeah. And when you're bringing things up with people, especially people close around you, they can be quite triggered by it, because they feel like then they become the barrier. It's like, you're not the barrier. I'm just doing me. So anything that you're feeling and you're reacting, that's you. And then it seems arrogant, but it's just not.
Yeah. Yep, definitely, 100%. And even this is actually a conversation I've had with Fan a couple of times in checkpoints throughout a relationship, because I like to move. I move fucking. I like to move fucking fast. And
you're like a hare.
Just go for it. Gone.
Beautiful.
And she always used to feel like she needed to keep up.
Yeah.
And she felt like if she didn't keep up, then that would slow me down. But I would always go back to it. I was like, no, like this is the pace and speed that I'm going to go at, and I'm going to go at this pace. And it's not because I'm moving away from you, and don't feel like you have to keep up. It's like there's pitch stops, and there's things that will happen that will constantly bring me back to you. I have the energy to run back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. As long as we're constantly moving up and to the left, then for me it's fucking it's all good.
Yeah. You're the prime example of generating energy. But you've got that little manifester too. Like I see when you get a spark too, man. Like it's beautiful to watch. Every now and then you have that little spark, you're like boom, but it'll come off the back of your generated energy actions. And then you go, then I'll get into this. And then that will be your initiation into that, but then you can generate yourself to continue it on. Until you lose interest.
I was actually talking to until I lose interest. The thing is, you got to keep me entertained, otherwise I get fucking bored. I was talking to Sean, actually sent me a message about this, that when you're having a look at the human design as well, I also have 4 open gates.
You do.
And she says that's really, really uncommon, because most people only have like 1 or 2 open gates, whereas with me I have 4. It means that my ability to create mastery is so much greater, because I'm just so much more open to be able to flow with it. And that in itself is a beautiful place to land. And like even just accepting that is something that only really just happened when the message came through. I was like, fuck, if I can just accept the fact that I'm actually good at so many different fucking things, then I can just allow myself to be so good at many different fucking things. you know, and I might just be good at something until I move on to something else, and good until move on to something else. And then it's just like using that energy to just keep moving forward, because I know that, like a generator, as long as I'm moving, shit's just going to happen.
Yeah, well.
Fucking it.
Oh, it's beautiful to watch. I've got the 2-4 gate. So in my opportunist gate in the 2, it's the hermit as well. But I've got the 4, which is the connector as well. So I've got like these paradoxes, right, of where it goes. But with the manifested human design, and this is something I used to struggle with as well when we're talking about ease. I have the ability to be able to pick something up straight away if it's something that aligns,
sure.
and I'll master it, very quickly. And I always struggle with that, because I thought, no, you need to struggle to do something, and so then I would actually pull back on things that I was actually good at, and my parents, and my parents obviously had no idea about human design or anything like that. They were just raising us as they raise, as every other parent does. And shout out to all the parents out there, we love you all. But if the human design concept can be grasped, then you know how your kid can be, and then you can generate the genius so early on.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so when something just comes in and I initiate something for myself, if I pick it up very quickly, it's like poetry, right?
They just dropped
you saw that
overnight.
It's like, it dropped in, boom, and I literally will sit down and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna write some poetry, and I'll write a whole page within about 10 minutes, and it's fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's like that just came with ease. And so things like that happen, and so I've had to work on that to actually go, yeah, the things with ease are ease, and just accepting that. And it's a really strange concept, because you think you're actually you're searching for ease. You're searching for something to do something until it becomes easy, but yet, you know, I have a power that some things will just come absolutely easy to me, and yet I had to learn to accept that. It's like, yes, I understand life is suffering and struggle, and that's your lessons and things like that, but then when it's not, you gotta be like, oh, why is it not? And then you question yourself. But again, it's going through the HD process and learning more about yourself, and then as soon as you hear a nugget just like you did, you're like, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and it's totally not in the mind. It's in somewhere in the body, and it just knows. It's a knowing.
And then that's beautiful, brother, and it's really, really true, because I see those moments and I see those things that come so easy to you, and actually the things that come off of it, they're fucking huge, because they're not things that I could ever curate. You know, they're just things that just happen in a moment that even without. Like they're not things that you could make happen through action. No, they're just circumstantial things that'll just fall into place, and it's just like, fuck, that's dope. Yeah, you know, just like just the people you meet, the opportunities that just arise for you, and for us as well. Yeah, it's fucking dope, because it's like, man, I could never do that. Yeah, I sit back and watch you do your spreadsheets and curate all this brilliant stuff, and it's something you enjoy to do. Or as frustrating as it is for, you know, I try and support you in any way I can. You know, it's like, I'll bring you some food and some apples. You know, brother, I'm feeling pretty helpless here, but I want to be involved. You know, like, but again, that's just the to and fro of a partnership, right? But you know, I sit there, I'm in awe. Because there's every part of me that wants to be able to do that. I want to be able to sit down and be like, and I'm a creative, so if I actually go sit down and make it happen and initiate in there, then some will flow. But yeah, it's such an interesting paradox. But yeah, I watch you in the same awe, brother. You know, like I just watch you going, oh, it's fucking beautiful. And if you are following us on social media, you look at all of our amazing content. I mean, that's Rye Guy right here. You know, he's a you know, the back end wizard.
You are.
And you're like the front end master.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. What a team! Can't have two back ends, because who's running the front? Can't have two front men, because then who's gonna like have the base of the pyramid, bro? You know,
very, very true, right? If you're just focusing on the front, you'll have a brand. If you're just focusing on the back end, you'll just have a company that people only see through Facebook marketing. Yeah. But when you can do both, man, you're going to build a brand that people are going to remember and want to be part of.
Oh, yeah. And it's moving out of that one is better than the other.
Yeah, for sure. It's just whatever the person's genius is and whatever their ability is to create, right? You know?
Yeah, and it's the polarity. It's not necessarily the masculine and feminine polarity. It's still a polarity in the strength and weaknesses category, and it's still a polarity in knowing yourself and going, this is what I'm masterful at, and continuing to double down on that, and knowing not one is better than the other, because you're still process orientated. Seeking towards a higher purpose of our values, and that's why we're sitting here talking about manifestation because it's we're mastering it. We are literally mastering it. I mean, here's a prime example. It was, so what are we now, 27th of March. So yeah, it would have been in February. So it was February. Yeah, it would have been about February 6th or 7th. I was just out for my night walk, and we needed a bit more cash flow for beta. And I was just on my walk, and I think I smoked a little weed that night as well.
Smoking the weed.
It really lines up my mind when that happens. We'll go into that on another time. But and this thing dropped in, and I just started speaking. I'm like, oh, okay, yep, $15,000 is getting dropped into our account this month. Like, that's what we need. And the next day, made a phone. I'm like, okay, I'll make this phone call and make this happen and work through it. And they were like, yep, boom, bang. And then we had our $15,000 cash flow the next day. Okay. So it's that beautiful concept of drop in, speak it out, take some action. If it's not my action to take, initiate someone else to take the action, and it will happen. And that was in the space of 24 hours. Cool. And I mean, that's just one example of many that happen daily.
Many.
Yeah, and the divine process that seeing the things that pop up in your life, because it's seeing. There are opportunities in every moment. There's always an opportunity, and Atlas talks about this really well.
I was just thinking that.
Seeking the opportunity. Always opportunities everywhere.
Well, allowing yourself to be the curator of your own life and creating the map, right? Seeing it being laid out in front of you, seeing the opportunity and the offerings that the universe is giving you, whether they're physical or energetic, and then allowing yourself to just take it and play with it. Allowing yourself to dream a dream that you may have thought would be totally unobtainable, but just dreaming it for the mere reason just to fucking dream it and feel it. Because why would you not? No one's holding you back from that, except for yourself and your own ability to realize you're worthy of it. And as soon as you understand that, fuck all the bullshit in the fucking past. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's heavy. Yes, it's going to take some work to fucking work through it. But you fucking deserve whatever you want to dream, and you deserve to fucking dream big. And the thing is, big is different for fucking everyone.
Yes.
Yeah?
100%.
Just because Mike's talking about fucking Mercedes-Benzes and fucking having planes doesn't mean that needs to be your big.
No.
Fucking no.
No.
Create your dream.
Yeah.
Live through it.
Oh, that's a good download, brother. We found ourselves in an $8.5 million house.
Fucking
on Sunday. That got created within 24 hours.
Definitely.
So we did for you listening, we did a beta photo shoot, our lifestyle photo shoot for our brand and for our website and our content. We had two amazing models there, and we had a great camera team, and we had the shoot location. And literally the day before it got cancelled, less than 24 hours, it got pulled out from under us. And I was emceeing and hosting an event, a charity event as well at 2:00. This happened at 5 to 2. And so whilst I was on and off the stage, my beautiful brother-in-law, he found us this other place. And he's like, no, I found this place for you. And I was like, okay, amazing. Went into it. I'm like, holy shit, this is literally 1,000 times better than what we had. And within 24 hours, we'd rocked up to this beautiful mansion home in this grounds, and we had the most amazing day of expansion. Like, I can't even talk about it without smiling and it happening. It was just such a beautiful, profound day, and it's just in those moments that are constantly happening for us, and everything's getting bigger. It's not like I sat there and like, wow, we need an $8.5 million house. It's like, no, the energy of what we needed came.
For sure.
And when the thing got pulled out from us, and this is the same thing that happened with our SUPs with the floods and things, like, because we've gone so much into our own work, our reactivity is not there, because then when you react and you can create an identification of that hurt, of that trigger, and then you go down that path, so you're now blocking yourself from what could be better. And
Fucking
what's coming is better. So trust in jumping off the fucking cliff, and you can build your plane on the way down. And just know that the universe will catch you in a net.
Yeah. And that what you just said is so true. Every time something happens that slows you down or stops you, it just gives you an opportunity to make things better.
It does.
Fucking A.
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful.
Oh,
It is. It's just when something slows you down, just know that something's better to come.
it is. It's the trust. So build that trust in yourself, because then you can trust in the universe, which is you anyways. You are source, and just know that everything's happening for you, not to you. And when something, air quote, bad is happening, it's not bad at all. It's just not for you. So just keep moving, and the thing that's for you will be there, and it could be better.
Fucking A.
And then if you have that bigger ability to dream and have your vision, and you're dreaming so big, then it will be as big as it needs to be.
Definitely. It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
The only thing that we talk about is where to from here.
Where to from here? That's it. What is next? What is next? And it's like, wow, anything is possible. Anything is possible, and everything's possible. Everything's plausible, and we all have the ability and the want, the need, the desire. We've worked through the heavy shit so that we can manifest and curate and create and play and have fun. So why would it not be all of those things?
Bring on the ease.
Bring on the ease.
Yeah.
And I guess this is a message for all of you as well. Like, do the things that's going to make ease happen. Yeah. Like, it's not about life being easy, but it's about allowing yourself to be in the flow of whatever's going on in front of you. It's about allowing ease to happen into your life. It's not about burning things down when things start to go too well. I know there's something I know. It's like they call it a phoenix rising, because most people are addicted to the burn more than they are about building themselves back up. Allow yourself to just play and have fun with it. Sit in meditation tomorrow. If you're listening to this podcast, get up fucking half an hour earlier and just sit in meditation until you feel the shift within yourself. And if you don't feel the shift, don't get up. I don't give a fuck if you miss work.
Yep.
Just get up. Just sit with it until you feel the energetic shift within you. Because why the fuck not?
Oh, God, yeah. Because we are living example of what can happen and what is going to happen. There's no part of ourselves, and we talk about this all the time, there's no part of ourselves that know that everything that we're doing isn't going to be amazing.
No.
There's not one iota.
Fucking no.
Of us.
I worked too hard for it not to be amazing.
I know. And that's true.
I'll keep working hard.
That's where the secret got it miserably wrong. You're not just thinking your way to things. That's a part of it. But you've got to go and do the work.
Aligned action.
Oh, yeah. Come for a rebirth with me and Brian.
Fucking no.
We'll help you feel your power.
Fuck yes.
Oh,
Nothing more aligning than that.
Yeah, that aligns us. Fills our cup.
Definitely.
Man, it's... I feel motivated.
Same.
I hope you feel motivated at home, because, I feel motivated. That's what we're here for.
It's a good energy, bro. It's a good energy. It's a good energy.
Come and get amongst it. Share this podcast around. Tag us on social media. We love it, because the more people can hear these messages, the better. Definitely. It really is. If you're somebody who wants to come and talk about your journey and you've got some interesting shit, because every human has some interesting shit, give us a shout. Send us a little story. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's nothing more exciting than life than meeting interesting people, and every single person has something interesting about them.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, I love it. I love you, bro.
I love you too, brother.
I think it's a beautiful place to end.
I think so too.
All right, beautiful people. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, thanks for stopping by. We love you.
We love y'all.
Ciao.